Good evening.
Hi.
Hello.
And welcome back to the insanity that is By the Dice and the Nox Vitalia campaign.
Aye.
And now, on to announcements tonight.
Thank you.
I did them all last week, so you're on your own.
Thank you. Thank you to Rip Reptiles, a local scaly baby rescue, for our continued printing services, and I guess thank you to myself for the heroes.
Actually, no, I'll thank you for that one for the Heroes Feast, because that's just kind of fucked up. And thank you to Thomas for miscellaneous refreshments and such. The advantageous joint from Anaya, or from Topanga and Chris, because it came out of an advent calendar. We live in Oregon. This is normal.
Yep.
Joints in the advent calendar. That's right. 12 doobies of Christmas.
12 Days of Doomness is what I call it.
The box says 12 Days of Doobies, but same thing.
The box says 12 Days of Doobies. I say 12 Days of Doomness because that sounds better.
You are welcome to light as many of those off as you'd like, by the way. I'm just
It was a great idea until I sat here and they started
Oh.
There's also a box up there that's got little cones that sit on that thing, and I did wash it, and that all flows down into the reservoir and will not blow in your face.
What other announcements?
Other announcements. Oh, yes. This is one of the last 2 absolutely real-time live recordings.
Yep.
We will be taking a break. There will not be a episode on New Year's Eve. While we will get together and play on New Year's Eve, we're going to pre-record it. You guys will get to see that madness and mischievous what the fuck come...
Just
The following
January
Sunday.
8th,
It will be back after the
7th
New Year.
or 8th.
Yep. After the New Year.
It will be the following Sunday, and then the way that it sounds, we're just gonna basically, we'll be 1 week ahead of you guys.
Yep.
This will give us an advantage, though. If we air it at the right times, we should be able to actually be in the chat for at least part of the broadcast,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
which would be definitely kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
That way we can monitor our own bloody chats.
And interact and all that good stuff.
Exactly. So, with all of that insanity said and done, last time, due to inclement activities that we had no control over and the universe deciding to tell us all to go screw ourselves, Kalora went on a shopping spree and is now completely broke, by the way. When they get back, they are shiny in a lot of ways, but very much ain't got a dime. They
I
broke.
have 50 gold left.
You have 50 gold left? Oh,
I
cool.
saved myself hotel fare.
Nice hotel fare.
So she's not a dumb bird.
No, my intelligence has gone up to a 10. I have average intelligence now. Instead of average teenage boy intelligence.
That's a 6.
Ronan.
Thank you.
What do
Well,
you
beyond-
mean, Ronan? My intelligence is at a freaking 15.
I got disintegrated and my intelligence went up apparently
Okay,
because it didn't
Ronan's
fry
choices
any of my
aren't
brain
bad.
cells.
Smart.
Everybody's
So
great.
did you mean you learned a lesson?
I did. I mean, I'm gonna do it again in the future, but that's mostly because we're counting the 2 new points to my intelligence as moments of hesitation before
Yeah.
I hit it with my head.
I think those people get like struck by lightning and then started to get the ability to pick up languages really quick.
Right? Exactly. And beyond that, there was a little bit of shopping done. There were some people hired.
Yes, I did get all of the artisans and blacksmiths we need to the dragon requested, and sent them to go get the.
Labor of reject college students who are more about their work and less about popularity.
Nice.
Like, half work, half gnome girl is the head of his crafting team.
And then we got a line on where to get the gold and copper that we need. And I think, and we gotta find the cauldron of everything.
Yeah, that's something that we have to heist.
Well, that
To be entirely clear and fair, the dragon did specify that it'd be nice, but it's not a prerequisite.
Okay.
On a cauldron of everything.
Yeah.
A
Oh, we
cauldron
need
of
a pound of
everything. It's an item.
nag's hair.
Oh, night hag's hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta go hag hunting.
That
Yep.
would be good.
So, all of that in case, knowing that you still need how much precious metals? I need weights, please.
2 tons of gold and 10 tons of copper.
How do you get? So, we'll open with everybody. Kalora coming back in, and you can describe what they'd see in a minute because this is not the Kalora that you saw wandering, muttering about needing better armor after that event. We're going to have you all starting back at the tavern, having met up, accomplished what you needed to. Still waiting on Kalora because you don't want to leave without your party.
Yeah, we went back. Oh. Yeah. I got
You
that.
have enough scrolls of teleportation
Yeah.
so that you can.
Yeah, but
definitely
we
implement
sent that we used one. I used one to send to people.
Yep, so that definitely needs to be marked off. The good news is I did give you all enough to make it a relatively feasible. You shouldn't run out unless you start being lackadaisic about some shit.
And then so I'm on my way back from my picking up my weapons
Alright.
and my other thing I did. I guess I run into Chlora on the way there because we didn't tell her what bar we're at. Right? How do you want to do that to get her back?
Well, one thing that the party did establish is that you all had a favorite pub or the pub that you were at when you first arrived in Castara.
We'll
You
go back
pay-
to there.
Yeah, because you have infare there for a while. You paid them quite handsomely and rented a room.
Hmm?
Several rooms.
Is it the same bar I took off? No, I thought it was I left him at the bar where I did the meeting at.
Oh yeah, that's right. So you all are down in a south end. You all are down in a seedy ass pub. Thank you. In the basically in the Forge districts.
So I was on my way back. I guess, do I run into her so I can just grab her?
Oh.
Well,
So as you're sitting here in the pub, when Ronan would have.
He's staying in the bar. I'm on my way back to the bar from the temple.
Okay, so as you're on your way back from the temple, would actually work. You see Kalora wandering about. You would run into them. So that's where we'll start. Is with the two of you colliding while you wait at the bar with the new hires that are that lagged behind.
That's where I was anyways, because I was drinking, wasn't I?
You were chilling there because you just had to deal with the underworld and a beholder.
Yeah, and I was drinking a little bit, but I didn't want to get drunk because I knew I still had stuff to do.
Exactly, and you also
He
needed
was
to be
eating
able to
dinner.
explain to Kalora when they got back what was going on there too.
Yep. So they walk in, they just see me with my feet up on the table, just
Well.
drinking a pint.
Well, before we get there, because now we know what you'll walk into the bar and see, so you guys can just narrate yourselves right through the bar as far as I'm concerned with your conversation walking down the street.
So I guess as I'm walking back and I see Claire, I'm like,
I'll be stepping out of a blacksmithery with a shining new whip.
ooh, and I have big toys too.
Well, it's the same whip. It's just shiny.
What?
So what would,
What I see?
yeah. What's the difference between before then and now?
Where there was torn up and beaten up leather and chain, now sits gleaming adamantine armor with feathered pauldrons coming up. And if you look closely, you can see a latch at the shoulders for my little trick of dropping my armor. Well, now more important because you can tell from just my stance that I could not fly with this armor on.
Yeah, it's definitely hindering wing movement. Oh, by the way, make sure that you write out all of the information on that armor because it is homebrewed at this point.
Yes.
And I'll be like, cool, you got new stuff. Look at what I picked up.
Nice. Hey. Picks up what looks like a normal metal shield. Oh shit! And it flies up into my outer space and just kind of circles around us while we walk. It'll come back to my hand in a minute.
Literally.
We're gonna get in trouble. Just so I can see how that works. I am on my way back. I'm gonna get Ronan. I got a bunch of the stuff taken care of for the deal. We have to still fire a few things that I don't have a lead on one of them. We have a lead on the materials. I still need a pound of night snacks hair.
Night hag?
Hair, yes. I need a pound of it.
Oh, so we gotta find a fucking coven.
Yeah, because interesting thing about hags, they bald. You would know this. So in order to get a pound of night hag hair, you're going to need to like scalp 4, maybe 5 of them.
Do we have to kill them, or could we
You have
scalp
to,
them?
you have to kill them.
Well, you're welcome to try and take their hair without killing them.
You have to kill them.
Did-
No!
Okay, and I mean, I have feelers out.
I'm not suffering those consequences.
The cauldron and everything I haven't even bothered to find, but I did get all the artisans and blacksmiths. I got them, and they're back at the. I sent them to go meet with the dragon to get the blueprints to get the project started, basically.
Well, that's good.
I found a really great blacksmith, and he gave me recommendations on the team, so I have high hopes there. And then, and Ronan gave me a heads up that the beholder he found has a lead on the amount of materials and where to get them. But he's probably going to entail some insanity knowing Ronan, so.
Yeah, well.
But I'm headed back to the bar to go grab him and make sure that he's all ready to go and not too drunk, and then we'll see what happens.
That's probably a wise idea. What pub did he say was that?
Did we name
You don't know the name of this place?
it? It's not that far away. It's where all the blacksmiths hang out. And
Well,
their apprentices.
particularly the apprentices.
Yeah.
And this particular group you noticed was kind of ostracized, and everybody kind of went away from them as they came in.
I got the misfits, okay? But I got the misfits like no other shit.
I mean, as long as they can do their job, nobody's gonna give a shit if they don't quite do it.
Well, the head blacksmith.
I mean, they will be working at Aspen's.
Yeah, but I have faith in them, especially the head blacksmith, Mildred.
If you'd ever actually met the love of your life.
I think I did, but we're not talking about it right now. Okay. We're gonna head back to the bar and go grab Ronan. What time of day is it?
It would actually be roughly maybe 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Apparently, there'd be a lot of day drinking motherfuckers in Castara.
Yeah, well, millennials.
Well, not even well, yeah. Technically, I'm a Zennial, and I've been day drinking since 9:30 this morning.
You
considering-
don't ever stop drinking. What are you talking about?
Yes, I do. I go days at a time without anything.
It's because you're sleeping.
You really have not known me that long, man.
What?
He said I was sleeping.
Only time most.
I'm awake from 8 a.m. till midnight minimum.
Yeah,
That's it. I'm usually up by 6 and usually crash about 2 or 3.
See, we have.
Yeah, but
age
you
on our
nap.
side.
Girls, you're both pretty.
I'm just saying.
Who you calling a girl, honey?
I'm just saying. I don't know what sleep is either.
I might be a pretty princess, but I ain't no girl.
So we're gonna head into the bar.
I just had to. It was too perfect.
Alright, so as you come in, it's Ronan's description on what you would see, because obviously your new hires are elsewhere.
Yeah. So. So as we walk in, I'm gonna go flag with Ronan, which he's just sitting at the bar, or you sitting at a table or bar?
I'm just sitting at a table close to the bar, but
Yeah.
at a little personal table with my feet kicked up on it.
Look
sitting
what I found.
Drinking a pint.
And Clara comes in behind me.
Looking like an actual tank.
I do appear like solidly like 3 inches taller,
And armored.
but heavier. Oh, and I have a helmet on now.
Did you redo your beak with that adamantium too?
No. No, I did not go spend half my hit points, possibly almost all of them, getting one beak unriveted and a new beak riveted back on.
Oh,
Protect that beak.
it really does come down to this. If you actually had to try and have your beak
Replace-
upgraded to adamantite,
Which feels
I'm
tough.
just going to put this in there out of character, So you can keep this in mind as to how long you're going to have to wait. It will be running on a D12, and each round is 6d12.
See, I need to wait. I need to wait on that.
Because adamantite, no, it's like riveting tungsten.
Oh.
So you have to heat it even more than you would the steel that they already have.
It has to be the same. Yeah, it's one of those fun things about this. Got it.
Unfortunately, I know enough about these things that we're not going to make it easy. If I'm giving the fucking bird an adamantite beak that does 1d8 plus 4 hit bite damage, plus their strength modifier.
Would you lose your ability to speak though?
No.
He's
No.
supposed to swim.
No, because a greater restoration spell plus healing magics, which by the way,
No, I mean talking about literally the weight of the adamantite on the beak. Which is
not with a strength of 20.
There's all sorts of things I can do because my strength is maxed.
fine.
I highly recommend doing that to any character that you try to make into a pool.
Tanks can do so much fun shit.
Body modding a tank is fun. Anyway, so as you all walk into the bar, you see Ronan. I'm barefoot, so I don't care. Like this, literally.
Well, I do it myself, but I don't want to put my feet on your chairs.
Yeah, especially since you're wearing your shoes still.
Yeah, and I don't want to put my shoes right by your face.
As you see me walk in the door, I'm like, hey, look who I found. And you're going to see basically the Terminator bird behind me.
And it is just a hulking
So-
Kalora.
Finally learned that things can zap you still.
Duh. I knew that from the get-go.
Then why'd
I'm still
you
gonna hit it with my
go?
head.
And I just take a drink off my drink, and then
I'm more
I'd say
worried about
this
the
is
little
my
shit
magic
throwing
light up
things at me.
wand that I have old Toby in, and I just take a puff off of that, and I'm just like,
So I filled her in.
That's simple prestidigitation, so you're good.
So are we gonna? So the beholder, we have to meet up with him. Where is he at? Or do we want to tackle the nags here first?
You have all that information.
So I'm asking, do we want to deal with we have two things left to
I
get.
already got the beholder, dude. He's waiting for us at the tower.
You know, we still need to get some nags, a pound of knight's nags hair, and we have to get all that material, the gold and copper. Which would we want to tackle first? Getting the witch's hair, or going to see about the lead that he has on the materials? Is a
I'm
good
gonna
question.
look for any of those boards that function as job postings.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna look to see if there are any postings mentioning hags.
No.
Well, it was worth a look.
Correct, and you all have only been to the smithing and forge district of the city
Mm-hmm.
and its markets.
Didn't we fight some night hags a while back? Didn't we collect some
Mhm.
of their skin and hair as samples?
Wisp has it.
Wisp has all that?
Yep, and Wisp has wandered off into the desert chasing.
Well, he didn't take all of his stuff with him. Maybe he left that in the room, and we can check there and see what he has.
No, because that's what we go back into. It was locked. We couldn't get into the room.
Yep, locked and trapped.
Wisp's belongings are inaccessible.
But I don't think he would have enough for the amount we need, though.
I mean, we could always. It's not beyond Aspen. We could always ask the dragon if there's some of it. I doubt there's a whole pound, but some on the premises.
But the dragon's the one that sent us to get it, so if he had it, why would he
I
need
like
it?
where your thinking is going with that.
And you sent the beholder, so we're gonna have to go back anyway because he sent the beholder to go meet with the dragon.
Yep.
This dragon wanted to talk to him.
Did you mark off your teleportation scroll after that?
Yes.
I did mine as well.
Cool, so how many do you have between all of you?
I have 4 left. He should have 4 left. Clara should have all 5.
Cool, so between all of you, you have 13 left.
Yeah.
That's, like I said, more than enough, unless you're being really lackadaisical with all your trips back to the tower.
But this is one we're gonna have to do because we're 2 birds, 1 stone. We need 3 birds. We gotta check on the progress of the blacksmiths, talk to the dragon and the beholder. So I feel like we should just head back there and you come up with a game plan.
Laura's giving you a wicked look for the killing two birds with one stone comment.
No pun intended.
All you can think of is at least you didn't say two birds with one flame.
There would have been a bar fight.
No, like legitimately, Kalora
Yeah.
lost her child and mate in a fire. So
Yeah, no, that would be alright, we fighting now.
Alright, so I'm gonna pop. Can we use one scroll together, or is it one per person?
yes, because it creates a circle of teleportation
Well, I'll pop one.
that is
Fantastic.
preordained as with an address to.
Well, we each have 4. Chlora still has 5 left. Her
Well,
use-
we don't need one per person. We can just pop one in.
That's what I'm saying.
Correct.
So just let her use
Anybody
one,
who
and that way we're
anybody
all
who steps
even.
into the circle for 6 seconds after the casting is transported to the destination address.
I haven't actually been asked how many of them I have left.
Have you used any?
I'm gonna say
No, but I haven't been asked.
in character. No, I'm just gonna pop one of mine. That's fine. So I'm gonna pop one. Everybody come here so we can get back, and then do the mumbo
I'm
jumbo.
here for the role play.
Do the mumbo jumbo and get back.
I need somebody, anybody, you all can go for rollies if you want to see who does it. Roll a D100 for me and tell me what the percentile is.
Got one.
Like, all of you figure out who wants to use what roll. I don't care because you don't know what the numbers mean.
I got it.
I got that. What does that mean?
What's the tens section say?
One sec. You rolled 2,
Two the same.
yeah.
Yeah, you have to decide on which one's your tens and which one's your ones before you throw it at them.
Okay, I got what I got rolled.
Well, you all discuss which one number you want to
Roll
use.
again.
This isn't a high or a low. It's a different things mean different things, like some of the tables.
95.
I got a 73. So which one do you want to use? Because different
Anybody
numbers
else?
mean different things.
You gonna roll?
Different numbers mean different things, but they aren't necessarily good or bad depending on high or low.
Are you gonna roll, Chlora?
95.
So 95, 95, and 73.
So, do you want to call it a vote?
Well, if we go based on rolls, I was outrolled anyways, so.
It's up to you if you want to go with the 95 or not. Excuse me, miss.
Yeah, I've just kind of been reaching over and
No.
tapping her nose when she gets up on my plate a little further than I'm comfortable with.
Oh, I
I'm
just
okay with
meant
the
him.
95. Let's just go with that.
Alright.
Okay.
I'm very okay with the 95 because the 5% chance of that happening was at the top tier for sheer joyous entertainment.
No shit.
So, yeah, oh shit-ish. But you're gonna love this, trust me. So as you step through into the, like, permanent teleportation circle on this side, you see 8, your group of hirees are fast looking over every moving part of this entire bloody tower. And they're tinkering with everything they can get their minds on, trying to figure out how it works. Not their hands, their minds. On how it can work and all of those, and what makes it work, what makes it operate, why does it do this, why does it do that, what are these gears for, what's this button do? At one point, you watch somebody go, what's this button do, push something, and then immediately their entire skin turned green as a beam of orange light hits them.
The children need to be.
That sounds
Super
like a
Malkin.
pretty style.
In the meanwhile, there is an overly grinning in the background face of a 12-foot sphere floating with eye stalks coming off of it in all directions. A sickly yellowish green color with bright fuchsia veining, its eye a deep red, and its teeth a maw of maybe 300 stretched into a jovial laugh, dripping some sort of viscous purple venom. And there's a dragon that seems to be having a nervous breakdown, rocking back and forth in a corner.
You got a Cheshire worm fucking with them.
No.
No. No. It's the beholder enjoying the chaos while all the apprentices fuck with the dragon's lair.
because the dragon's lair is in a fracking technomancer's keep.
I'm gonna step through and just yell, "Hey!" like real demanding, like
Excuse me.
like, "Dad, boy, hey, what are you doing?"
You watch as every hammer, every screwdriver, every wrench stops, and the beholder just keeps laughing, and all you can hear is, oh, push that one over there next. And
Need to talk to you, and I'm gonna point to him. And we're like, "Someone please go fix the dragon. It's broken."
Clearly.
so who's gonna go fix the dragon? You're dealing with the beholder, so we'll get there.
I'm gonna walk over and try to talk to the dragon.
You gonna try to help with the dragon?
I
Are you gonna
figured
try
I
to
was
help
gonna,
with the beholder, or
I
are you gonna
figured
deal
I
with
was
the
gonna help
apprentices?
with the beholder because I'm the one that hired him.
What can I do you for, love? You seem like you're in a poor state.
They came in. They stuck on stupid in a loop for the next 5 minutes. We'll get back there. So walking up to this beholder, it starts slowly, like Joker status, bringing a laugh down to just a shit-eating grin by the time you're standing in front of it.
The reason why you broke my people and the dragon, she just wanted to talk to you, not.
I didn't do a thing.
I feel like you did something.
I watched.
Like the devil, you watched and you said, "Hey, what does this do?" And then just let the chaos ensue.
Well, yes.
Okay, I get it. I get it. But like, I need you to build shit, not break the dragon, which you broke the dragon. Maybe she recovers from her panic attack, anxiety attack, mental breakdown.
Well, I didn't enfeeble her. She'll be fine.
Anyway, please let them get back to normal. Whatever you did, please undo it. I need your information on where to acquire I need your full attention to get the information that you have on where we can acquire the large amount of materials we need.
Oh, you mean the copper and gold you need?
Yes.
Well, do you have a gold coin?
Yeah, one of them.
Takes the gold coin. It's like, all right. So, there are how much gold do you need?
I need 2 tons.
Great. So, there are 1 pound of gold is 16 of these coins.
Okay.
32,000 of these coins is a ton. 64,000 gold coins smelted to liquid and turned into raw metal
Okay.
is
The easiest way.
the easy way. Now, where would someone find 64,000 gold just laying around?
The lair of a chromatic dragon.
Well,
Off the top of my head, I'd say the dwarves or a dragon.
or the International Commerce and Trade Mercantile Bank of Castara. Please write that name down. I will never remember it again.
I don't even
Thank you,
remember what you
DM
said
Kitty.
right now.
The International Trade and Mercantile Bank of Castara.
See, you'd remember it.
No, I
At the
wouldn't.
second, but next week probably not. Malkin, you want to be part of the game?
Pretty sure I didn't spell half those words right, but I got the idea.
The people that control the money is what it really translates out into.
He's pretty much saying let's rob the bank.
What about all the copper? They have that much copper.
Yeah.
Well, how much copper do you need?
10 tons.
So, at 16,000 copper coins per ton.
That's 160,000 copper pieces.
My idea is, I would recommend a mint for that. Don't
Two different
st-
locations?
Well,
Wouldn't the mint have that much gold as well?
that's just it. The mint here in Castara would not. They don't mint their own gold. It's all other people's. They just keep the weight of it in the safe. Same with copper and silver. But if one were to find, say, a neighboring monarchy in the Felllands run by a Fey prince and rob it for all of its coppers, well, they do mint their own coins. They have people who mine copper by the ton.
So you're saying we should go
2 or 3 mine carts of copper for them is what you need. Well, post smelting, so it would be 3 mine carts of copper ingots. You'll probably find them for cheaper that way than, say, robbing someplace for all their pennies. Quite literally. Because if you break down how the math works, a copper piece, since it's...
Same as the penny, yeah.
I hate
Yeah.
Alright, so, okay.
Say what?
I hate penny.
It's FCG food.
Yes. But he likes it better when you feed him platinum.
Duh.
And the chances that a dragon of any kind would have all this in one pile?
Quite good.
You watch the dragon start rocking back and forth harder as you feel the tower rock a little bit at the mention of the dragon's horde.
Sweetheart, we're not talking about you. We are talking about chromatics.
They shrink down they polymorph themselves down into a humanoid form, grab a bag and start going
Not bringing them here.
hyperventilating into the bag and doing the calm themselves down trick.
Not bringing them here. Going to them, ending them, and bringing their gold and copper and loveliness to you.
I don't mind the beholder, but the button pushers.
Those
So
are
many.
your smiths that you required. I'm gonna, 1 second.
Didn't we only
I'm gonna go
hire,
over to the
like-
dragon,
8 of them?
Yeah.
and I'm gonna grab Mildred on my way to the dragon. Okay.
How are you grabbing Mildred on your way to the dragon? You are left with the beholder, so any further engagements before I move on to that?
Stop messing with the dragon.
I'm not messing with the dragon. I'm just watching what happens when you put 8 apprentices in a masterwork like this. If you can't find the enjoyment in that in the comedy, I don't know what's wrong with you.
I'm gonna grab Mildred by the arm and say, come here, young lady.
You'd swear she almost peed a little bit? Yes, sir.
Children, I'm literally gonna go, children. I'm gonna turn around and look at the rest of them.
They all freeze. 6 of them go pale, and something smells funky off to the right.
Children!
You? Can we hear? And the rest of you, single file.
The one that you can wait here, they look at, and everybody else lines up like straight out military, boots strapped, everybody's in order, at attention, in line, arms at their sides.
Daddy's mad.
And
And then I'm
those-
gonna walk over to
Yes,
the dragon.
sir.
Follow me.
The dragon it takes their bag and keeps breathing deep and hyperventilating and follows you.
Yeah.
The button pushers are being handled. We will not bring any dragons here. And I will skewer the beholder myself if he fucks with you. I happen to believe him that he hasn't actively participated in fucking with the dragon yet.
No, there's things that he's interested in collecting from this place.
Yeah.
So, as I walk up to, what is the dragon's name? Do we know the dragon's name?
No, you never asked.
Oh, this is gonna be weird. I'm Mildred. Your name is Love?
Usually I go about asking that by saying, and since I'm standing right there, this is in character. Usually I go about asking them by saying, how do you pronounce your name again?
Oh, yes, that's the thing. I was hatched in this tower. I grew up in this tower. Most of the local populace just refers to me as the dragon of the tower. The person who was in this tower that could have been, nobody ever gave me one.
Okay, then you will now be called.
Cupcake.
No.
I am not a confectionery or a pet. It actually looks quite irritated at the suggestion.
No. You don't understand. I had this wonderful golden dragon stuffy growing up that I called Cupcake, and it kept me safe from everything, and you're wonderful too. And Kalora has turned into an absolute toddler.
And it looks
and
at
is looking at
Kalora.
this dragon with just awe and amazement and adoration.
This dragon looks over at you, and the look in their eyes just screams, "Help." You would be able to catch all of this because you would have heard that roar of "I am not a confection."
Birds pissing off the dragon.
No, I think at this point the dragon is a little bit flattered, but also like, no.
I am not a confection.
I'm not a
I am not
confection. That's sweet. That's a sweet notion, but no.
Exactly. It's like, what would you do? The dragon's going through that existential crisis of if somebody woke you up tomorrow morning and told you your name was Cupcake from now until forever.
Well, when I was a child, when I was growing up, I had a crush on a young lady. Her name was a Vanity. Feel like we'll call you that.
A vanity. Like a piece of furniture, a vanity, or like the feeling of you're so vain and you don't even like boys.
Yeah, neither of those is good.
No, she's just.
No, you don't understand the nature of the golden dragon.
Neither do I. Don't feel bad.
I do.
Good for you. Maybe we can talk sometime.
Anytime.
So, hey you. Talking with the floating set collection of eyeballs. Maybe you'll be a better insight on all this. How about you, come over here? You stay the fuck over there and don't instigate those little humans. I can eat them and you.
After calling and after Chris gets their turn at attempting to name the dragon.
Is it female?
Mm-hmm.
What Arthrisha? Something like that.
Arthrisha.
That's a typically tiefling style name.
Slightly off kilter. Reaches up, shifts back into a draconic form. Reaches up because you're in the main thing. Spins the thing. Oh, I do like the tiefling folk. They're the only ones who have the balls to come out here and visit. They just call me the Tower's They just call me Madam Dragon. Never understood why. You'd think they'd come up with something more creative, and she's spinning pieces to what looks like a giant astrolabe suspended from in the middle of this space. Not from the ceiling, because there's a bookshelf at the top of the ceiling, but just kind of hovering in space. She's maybe there's something in between them, minus the cupcake.
Morticia. Elvira.
She looks at you when she hears the name Elvira and looks at her humanoid form. or thinks about her humanoid form and shapeshifts in such a manner that she's built like Elvira in all the Baba Boom from when she fell out of her costume in the 70s.
The great woman that gave everybody a thing for emo girls. I'm just saying.
Goth girls, but yes.
Emo goth.
There's a difference.
She gave us all that kink. It doesn't matter. She gave us that kink.
Haley Williams gave everybody a thing for emo girls. Elvira gave everybody a thing for goth girls.
She did.
Yeah. Especially when she accidentally fell out of her outfit in the 1970s.
Yeah. God bless that surgeon. That's all I'm saying.
Actually, Elvira was
When she was younger, yes. I don't.
when she fell out, she was natural.
Mm-hmm.
She got older. They got.
Actually, when they got smaller, she stopped being natural.
Yeah.
Oh, she was like with Drew Barrymore and Scarlett Johansson and Christina Ricci did. Dark shit.
Yes.
Because that shit will whack your back up.
Yep. So, all that aside, she looks up at you and she said, "So, should I look like this?" And you watch as her hair shifts to the what you would expect black, and the clothing polymorphs with the body to look like the pencil skirt with the long flowing bottom, and she's like, "I don't."
You literally just hear me go, "Mommy."
I pull that little square mirror out of my bag and just hold it up and go, "You're really pretty."
The one thing that would be completely off from the motif is the skin has a slight gold sheen to it versus the pearl white vampire.
She's the caramel. She's the caramel version.
And her eyes are still draconic and gold.
She's the caramel
So
Elvira.
pretty.
Like the possessed caramel version, yes.
Yeah, mommy.
So, she looks at the group of you. So, is this a more comfortable appearance for you?
Yes. Yes.
I'll be honest, I like the dragon more. Kalora has not been able to regain the sense of decorum she led with, and is still just.
Pre-dragon. Elvira, please meet Mildred, your head blacksmith. Despite her initial entrance and befuddlement with the works of master craftsmanship that is your tower.
Oh, they didn't break anything. They just turned it all on.
I know. They're children. But
They hit all the buttons.
her father, who is one of the best blacksmiths in Kastar, has recommended his protege daughter, and these are the people that she trusts to do the small things while she looks at the big picture.
Okay. So, and you watch as you hear you almost hear the dun 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 dun, the drum beats as her hips sway as she walks, and most of these are typical nerd cliche shut-in boys that half of them are, and they're all like, and they start drooling out the corners of their mouth watching this person walk towards them.
Okay.
And they, so, no more button pushing, gentlemen.
And ladies. There's a couple ladies in there.
Oh, the girls just push the buttons to make the boys pay attention. Isn't that right, girls? You watch as a couple of them like shuffle and kick their feet at the ground. So, you're in charge of a whole bunch of work right now. I need you to get the forges clean.
And is she gonna escort him? Because I don't know that.
No, absolutely, she will escort them. So if you'll kindly with me, if the three of you would keep an eye on the ball of evil that's floating in this room, I'd appreciate it.
Gladly. I believe he's been no trouble, but Kalora's been around. Kalora's native to Kastara. Kalora's like.
So as we go back, I guess as a collective
12
party,
plus a central 13th.
collective party, we're gonna go back to speak to him, and on the way back to filling him in, going back to be next to the beholder. I'm gonna fill Cora that he's given us 2 leads. In the Fey realm, there is a prince we can talk to about the copper, just is a large amount we can need. And the gold, you're probably not gonna like his recommendation, but it's the best option we have at the moment.
Kalora is actively in real life.
75-25 is your percentile. In the favor of the 75 as to whether or not you're okay with where the gold has to come from, based on your current paladin path. You have a 75% chance to be okay regardless of your alignment.
Roll it. Roll it.
You're allowed 75 or lower.
I'm not okay. That's an 81.
Okay, so we'll get to that in a minute. But
Like I said, you're probably not gonna like where we're gonna get the gold from. Like, I was very specific. Like,
yeah, you already start blanching at the idea of where on earth would you get 2 tons of gold from, because you can think of like 3 places and 2 of them are mint.
so as we get back to the Beholder and Ronin, so do you have a name for the contact to get the copper, or are we gonna have to wing it?
Well, that's just it. You don't need to find a name. You just need to find their mint.
For the copper or the gold?
For the copper. For the gold, you could find a mint too, I'm sure, somewhere in there. I believe there's a gentleman by the name of Stroud in one of the extracurricular planes. I believe he owns a gold mint.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I looked into it. He does.
Mm-hmm. This is
Hint, hint.
Kalora's face.
The Feylands, we could barter something.
I believe the Prince of Sorrows in the Feylands has a copper mine.
New.
Okay, so
You could barter for it, trade for it, buy it from him, or you could steal it.
how I'm gonna look at Kalora and run it. How hard is it?
I'll get that in a minute.
The Feylands.
See?
Can we portal there?
No. That would be a little bit...
You kind of just have to stumble across it.
Honestly, if we can get back to Evermist, there is a doorway.
but the...
Yeah, we get to see our old friend Alabaster.
He's not our friend anymore, and you know it.
Well, after you committed war crimes, yeah, he was
We-
like, fuck this. I wasn't there yet. I didn't show up until the refugees. I was there with Alabaster. Alabaster.
Yeah, he's just heard rumors of your war crimes.
Alabaster was with you guys, and he left. From the stories I've been told, is he left to go home and take care of stuff on the farm and never came back because you guys committed war crimes.
We did. We commit war crimes, and I would honestly, aside from
Ich verstehe Sie, das ist mein Gut. Du bist keine Schleitzekatze.
you got mom voiced.
So, Alabaster
honestly,
doesn't know me.
Aside from that last bit, I'd do it again.
Okay, so
You're technically the only one in the group that he knows of the committed war crimes. He doesn't know either one of us.
Wisp.
Wisp isn't here at the moment, though.
True.
let's see. So it's gotta be needed to get there though.
Well,
Like a wizard in Kastar that could help us.
you have a dragon. Most of them can cast the spell. If not, I'm sure there's a scroll for it somewhere in the plethora of insanity that is this town.
Pretty sure we can find a teleportation scroll or something.
We really know we need a dimension.
Plane shift for that, but
We need a plane ship for the Bay Realm.
Yep.
yep. I mean, you could find everything you need in the Fey realm, but you'll be needing to plane shift for that. I would highly recommend for your gold the closest ready supply, as long as there's a smelting basin. Get an extra ton, or extra half a ton should compensate for burn off. My recommendation
Hold on.
would be the bank of Castara. They have a rather large cistern that post-cataclysm was turned into a vault.
Yeah.
There's easily 5 tons of gold in there. Possibly a good bit of copper, too.
What are the chances I can persuade him into giving up? Don't you have like a competitor that we could just might have it maybe?
Well, let's hear your argument for why you would rather a competitor over going and robbing the bank.
I feel like it would just one. Probably some things that the competitor has that we might want,
Under my nose.
or
No.
just to be like you. I don't like you. So better off. I mean, bankrupting a competitor means more business for you.
Everybody else on board with this plan, you do have a right to speak up.
I love it.
Better than a bank.
I don't love it, but it's better than a bank.
I'll do anything
Yeah, I'm
to
okay
make
with it.
money. I'm a rogue. I'll pretty much do anything as long as it's part of the mission.
That's what she said.
How'd I do?
59?
So I gotta roll.
No, you don't have to roll anything. The 59 was the percentile. Like, well, I can understand your apprehension at the... I was giving you a 50-50 shot. The high end of it being the more noble cause of not having to rob a bank. Since that's what everybody as a group was more against.
Well, I mean, illegal. It's just I feel like it's more difficult.
You're
I'd
welcome.
like to go home at some point.
Well, I suppose if you cleaned out the whole house, you'll need several bags of holding.
Where can we get those?
Oh, those are easy. Most of the standard item shops can find you one for around 500 gold.
I ain't got that anymore.
I have gold.
I don't have gold.
I just realized I'm an asshole. I have a house in Kistar and we've been renting a space.
You have rubble in Castara, it burned, remember?
No, I have the house that I left most of my belongings in to go adventuring.
Oh, yeah, so are you saying this out loud?
Uh-huh. Just, wow!
It's a little late for that one, but okay.
Let's go see if you have any gold stashed away or something.
Maybe 200 or 300 tops. I wasn't very wealthy here.
That's enough to survive for 20 years on a relatively moderate salary.
Yeah, but it's enough to get through like 2 weeks in this party.
Well, y'all are taking on some big shit.
Alright, so we need to go back to bag holding. How many bags?
Well, let's just be honest. You need 2 tons of gold, 10 tons of copper.
And all the items that you would like us to acquire for you as your payment.
Oh, I just want a head.
Okay.
You get me a little head and we'll call it cool. Well, a little head a couple times, because there's a couple of little heads that I want.
Like from a person, or are we talking something else?
Well, one of them's a relatively perpetuously postulous pixie.
Try saying that 3 times fast.
Perpetuously postulous pixie. Good luck.
What if I
Yeah.
What if I brought you the pixie in a jar?
No, I just want its head.
Okay.
I figure that there's a mage somewhere that would want the wings. You can sell those for extra profit.
And the other head?
Well, you see, when I left the Fell-Touched Lands, about 300 miles to the east of here, it was under duress. Some 200 years ago. If that infernal creature survived, there would be a
relatively old gold dragon. Well, I'm sorry, no, he wasn't gold. That's the idiot that lives here. You watch as the dragon kind of huffs up. Excuse me, idiot, I'm smarter than you. And it's like, apologies. You stayed locked in a tower. I find that stupid. It just kind of sits there pondering this and shuts down into itself as the beholder tells her
I just
this.
kind of. It's not normal for dragons to have, one, such a small lair, and two, not to travel and build on.
It's a 600-foot tall tower that's roughly big enough to house a dragon so it can fly to the roof. It's not exactly small.
It's not tiny, but it is small for a dragon's lair.
It's only adult. So, this one would be... Well, the good news is it's red and they love gold.
Red dragon? I bring it on.
It's quite old.
What's the pixie's name?
Are we talking ancient or legendary old?
Not sure. Never got close enough to sample a scale. The pixie's name, I did hear you, sir, is, what's she going by these days? Oh. I think last I heard she was calling herself Titania. A few have called her Discordia, though.
Out of character. Is that the pleasure place he was at? Was she there? Okay.
No, Discordia is, I'm getting glared at because it's a fae from Greek and Roman mythology. Discordia is the one who created the golden apple that causes chaos and discord everywhere.
Alright, so.
She's quite the
in
little...
Roman mythology, yes. Sorry.
Yes.
Eris in Greek.
Yeah, Discordia in Rome. Yes, she's gone by that name too. You know her followers.
I do.
The lemming branch or the other branches?
The olive branch.
Oh, the lemming branch is quite interesting. You ought to be entertained by this. You see, they randomly grab as many people as they can and to go for a long 50K run that abruptly ends 10 feet off of a cliff. They get everybody drunk and high the whole way, so they never realize what's going on until they run off the cliff.
So, east of here, that's very big. You have a more precise direction or area we can go?
Well, here's your basic instructions.
Okay.
What you do is you go out the gates, you convince your host to turn off the walls around the road. You abruptly turn towards the rising sun, and you walk until the sands turn to clay. And then you keep walking until the sands start to have water and look like mud. And then you walk even further until mushrooms start growing and it starts looking like the Underdark above ground. And then you walk until the water is covered in pure necrotic energy.
They're faster way than walking.
Well, a horse, flight, a carriage,
Portal.
No, not a good idea.
Okay.
Out of character because the DM needs to be able to inject people into the storyline post New Year. In character because, to be perfectly honest, it just... things go wonky. See, right here in Castara and this desert, you're in what we call a neutral zone on this planet. Neither saturated with the Fell or the Feywild. The more lush and green and tropical, the worse off you are. The more it seems normal, the better off you are. The more it looks like the Underdark on the surface, the more you should worry about what's lurking around the corners. It's rather odd when shades can walk on the surface in the daylight.
Well, how many days away would you say?
If you're quick, 3-day journey. If you don't stop, don't visit towns, don't help the helpless, don't aid the needy, and are just a genuine dick about life.
Okay, and the pixie?
The pixie, if you manage to get to her. Oh, she's north of here, near a place called Evermist.
Mm-hmm.
You said we could get back to Evermist?
Technically you can, because you would know the address for at least one teleportation circle there.
Maybe we'll go for her first.
Well, to get to her, there's a portal near Evermist that will take you to Discordia's Chaos. It's a part of the Fey realm. It's her particular, what do they call them over there? Just, anyway, it's the equivalent to her kingdom on the other side of that portal. Not the one connected to the Druid's Grove, but if you follow the road, and he sniffs you past where you found those hags. Eventually the road disappears. There's a place where the sidewalk ends, so to speak.
Well, I won't go for the pixie because the dragon, I feel like, gonna be a longer journey. We can get to the pixie a little quicker. And give me a better chance of getting to a few other items on the list.
There's one catch.
Huh.
If you're crunched for time, you'll have to figure out a way to compensate for the flux.
Flux in the dimension.
Flux in time. See, sometimes when one travels into the Fey realm, a week is a minute. Other times, when one travels into the Fey realm, a week is 50 years here. Other times, centuries will pass. Other times, you'll leave the Fey realm and come back 500 years before you started. So, you'll have the flux to contend with.
Is there a way to mitigate that or to minimize that?
I've never been dumb enough to take a beholder into the Fey realm, so I'm quite partial to my own skin, and the denizens of that particular plane don't like my kind. Seriously, abominations do not go over well in the Fey realm. At all.
Out of character, is there a way? Or is there something we can do to mitigate flux?
You can certainly try. Out of character, that is the flat right answer that I will always give you.
The correct answer is that we find someone who can send us to the right time and place.
On the base side or this side?
The Fey side.
Okay.
We can get onto the Fey side whenever and it'll probably work out. But in order to get back to Kastara or Evermist or wherever we decide to enter, at the time that we intend to be there, we need to find someone who can get us back at the right time and place, which is why I recommended Evermist. There is a doorway there with an alabaster who would probably at least be friendly enough to let us leave.
Well, the road does go right past the back end of his farm, so.
As long
Well,
as we don't
I still vote
fuck
that
with
we
them.
go for the pixie first.
Well, the Pixie's near Evermist.
Yeah, but I'm like, I don't want to go find a dragon today or tomorrow. Like, I feel like we need more people.
On that we are agreed. I do believe the Grove in Evermist had a teleportation circle.
Yes, permanent. I would point out, so before you all decide to vacate the tower as a group, you have a group of 8 people, plus a dragon and a beholder that you can set to task while
Yeah.
you're out of town. What are you going to have each and every last one of them working on?
So the smiths have to get the boards up and running, cleaned.
That'll take them all of about maybe 2 days at most.
Okay.
You aren't sure how long you'll be gone. Give them instructions. Otherwise,
Yeah,
they're going
no,
to sit
so-
here pushing buttons and driving
Well-
the dragon nuts.
So, on that note, where's Elvira? She come back with been left them to do whatever. She came back to us, or she's still. with
She
you?
wandered off somewhere to go have a breakdown in quiet.
I'm gonna go find Elvira because they're gonna need whatever she's. This is her plan, and they need a to-do list, and not everything is gonna be made out of gold and copper. There's gonna be other components, and a site that she has in mind to get it set up in. I'm assuming.
Well, they've got as you talk to her about all this. Well, they've got the workshops once they get it all clean.
But this is your plan. You haven't shared that much detail with us. Do you have
I'm
blueprints?
just making sure you get to the plane of ice specifically.
Okay.
And have a permanent door there and back when you need it that it can't go through.
Other than the gold and copper, there's going to be other materials and components that they can build, right?
Most of it I have the materials on hand for. I mean, I suppose they could build it. A lot of this is experimental, hypothetical, and theorized material, though. The components in and of themselves are all blueprints. I've never been able to have enough hands to get it done, and, well, I've been working on it.
Mildred,
I'm only 70.
can I see the blueprints?
Absolutely. Come with me. And she leads you off up the stairs. Are you Is anybody following?
She's going to probably keep the eye on open holder because she told him.
And it is.
Look, it's a giblet.
She's going to buck your ass off. So,
I don't have an ass, so it can't be fucked.
I'm not there. I can't be laughing. I'm sorry.
Tell me, little McBucket.
I'm not there. Okay.
Just hardcore, just trying to commit to the bit.
Are you constipated? Did
Really
you
going
eat too
for-
much cheese?
Really going for a Queen's Guard look here.
Well, I have something that'll help you lax very easily. And it belches. And it's a standard issue belch, except this is coming out of a beholder. Do you have any idea what beholders don't eat? Me either. So the
No.
equivalent to the average landfill of gas comes out across your face, and something gooey and green that almost looks like it's trying to become sentient dangles from the tip of your beak. Seasoning. Yeah, that's right, baby.
Prestidigitation.
Rub it in.
Wipe the worst of it off, put it on the ground. And then
It kind of melts as it drops.
then just kind of prestidigitation back in the beholder's general direction. You can put that back where it came from.
You watch as a long tongue goes out and where it's splattered across the face, licks it, and just mother's milk. So, God duty, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You could be more friendly.
This is friendly. I don't know your intentions. I don't think you were fucking with the dragon, but that doesn't mean you won't.
My intentions are simple. Profit.
Huh. Regardless, I've been told to keep eyes on you.
Would you like me to keep eyes on you?
Haha. Very funny.
You watch as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 all the way around you, and it hovers over top of you. Its gaping maw wide open. Clearly not intent on biting you, but making a point.
I'm aware you'd be a nasty foe. I'm just doing my job.
You're a kinder snack.
I'm a kinder snack that bites.
That just makes them spicy.
Out of character, I'm aware that Kalora is a spicy sky raisin for this
Character? Yes. Kalora is not aware of this. I am totally aware. I won't let it go too far, just to be fair.
But Kalora's gonna hold her Queen's Guard like stature, not swinging the axe in her hand. Just
3 of the eye stalks gesture or turn towards Ronan. You don't have any backup right now.
Debatable.
Well, Kalora is being mighty brave, locking eyes to eye with this thing. Just
You do know what happens if you stare at that one too long.
good news, Kalora's not staring.
Oh no, you won't turn to stone. The problem is that's the one the disintegration beam comes out of. You would know this.
This is more of a I'm keeping my eye on you, and unfortunately, most of you is
What about
eye.
Yeah, it's a 6 foot wide, 50 foot long, or 60 foot long beam of disintegration that comes out of that one. Save or fuck you.
I do occasionally glance at the other ones just out of
Frost, slow. They flash every now and then as you look at them. Almost like it's just fucking with you. And then it starts doing it in a rhythmic pattern that reminds you of music.
Do you know how hard it is for an eagle to roll their eyes?
Yes.
Kalora just made it look easy.
Could you go ahead and do me a great big favor? Could you make a wisdom saving throw, please? Do you know one of the interesting things about this particular beholder?
I feel like he's trying to mesmerize her or hypnotize her.
It's a bard.
That's a 14.
So the flashes start reminding you of and you start finding
Irresistible dance.
No, you find yourself starting to doze. The last thing that you remember as you fall asleep is the beholder looking at the dragon and looking at Ronan and looking at you and going, now, what were we talking about to the dragon?
It's with me.
No. Beholder's being an asshole.
Who?
The bird's asleep on the floor now, cradling her great axe like a teddy bear.
Yep. Bard, sleep. You'll wake up in about 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure what happened.
Do we get to the blueprints? I guess that might be Clara. Almost. 10-2.
Alright, so blueprints. Oh yes. So as we cut away from where Ronan and Kalora are dealing with the beholder, that's decided that sleep is the way to go. While it has a conversation in private with whatever happens to be around. So, you needed blueprints for components for your people, correct?
Yeah, to give them work to start out before we head out. Yeah.
I can take care of that. Where were you planning on going?
We have a line on acquiring some of the items we need for the other materials, like the large amount of gold and copper you need. So we're gonna head out to get one of those leads followed down with, and get hopefully find a couple of the nags here and something else. So we're gonna go get off all of that sleep. We should be back in a few days.
The night hag hair shouldn't be too bad. So which one are you? You have places you could go to get the copper and gold?
We have a lead on a place to get some of it, yes.
Do you have a way to carry it all?
We're gonna acquire that on the way there.
You would actually need a bare minimum just for the gold alone of 8 bags of holding.
I was thinking a Baker's Dozen should do most of it. We can do we're gonna do them not in one heist.
Each bag of holding holds 500 pounds maximum. It weighs 50, but it holds 500.
So we're gonna need. Well, I have a plan on that. So.
And with every bag of holding, there is a creature that you risk running into.
These are all warded.
Okay.
If you buy them from the right person.
I played in one too many chaotic DM games.
I think a Baker's Dozen. You get a way to store it.
13 should do you well. That's...
Besides, we could always just make multiple trips. Like portal back, dump the bags, go back, and get more. What?
No.
That sounds like way too much work.
Do you know how easy it is to set a cantrip that will ring like bells upon the detection of significant magic, like a portal?
Just one. Where you go hire Woo? Anyway, back in character. I'll tell.
You have to play like John's our DM.
Yeah.
Damn, exactly. We have to play like John's the DM. Oh.
So Elvira, once she gets the blueprints, because this is all her bailiwick, have her take them down, show them to Mildred, and have her start on the projects and parts that she has the materials for. Well, before we head out, that should, I'm assuming, will be on maybe it's almost a week, maybe half.
So, as the dragon goes and alright, I'll get them the parts. And she goes and you watch as she stretches and you'd almost swear the seams are going to rip on her dress. And she gets all of the blueprints that she needs down and gathered up, and she goes walking downstairs. About 15 minutes later, Mildred comes walking back up in a complete fluster. You would not believe what just happened. There she was, delivering our blueprints, and all of a sudden we're going to a bio break.
That was perfect.
They may never know.
In our
Justice,
insanity,
Justice.
we are back.
Choice is probably the best one.
So as we left,
What'd Mildred say? Just fucking, we're getting to Mildred.
I love it when I can do that. All right, so Mildred, so remind me where we were when Mildred left
She
off.
was running up saying, "You won't believe what just happened," and then you went to Biobreak.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So as she runs up, just a little bit of like you. What's it called? Smut silt. Like the char from a fire.
Oh, she's covered in soot?
So thank you, smut silt. I couldn't figure out what the fuck it was off the top of my head. You know when you know a word but you lose it? That thing.
Yeah, do it in multiple languages regularly.
Alright, so she's got a bit of soot around her eyes like she was wearing goggles and working on something, though God knows you've only looked away for maybe 20 minutes.
Did I hear an explosion?
No.
Okay.
She said, "You'll never believe what we just found."
What'd you find?
Well, I think I have a way to turn copper into gold.
How come?
Do tell.
Well, there's this thing
Sorry.
that we found in one of the wings that was called in the transmutation wing.
Okay.
I put a copper coin in, and after much sputtering and feeding it way too much activated charcoal, it spit out a silver coin with the same mint marks on it. It looked like the copper one, only it was made of silver. We put it back through and it turned to gold. We put it back through and we got this, and it's iron.
What happens if you put that back through?
It turns to rust.
So it can get charged so much with activated charcoal before it just turns to nothing.
Actually, it has to do with the periodic table, if you really want the honest answer.
Uh-huh.
It's burning,
Tracking.
it's rotating through elements in a sequence until.
It's alchemy.
Yeah.
Or chemistry.
Yep.
So, if you can bring us enough gold and enough
Copper?
fuel, or enough copper and enough fuel, we can probably cut out the need to rob the... She swallows hard. Castarin Bank.
That was plan like C. We came up with another plan.
Or anybody else who would have that much gold.
So if we could just get a couple extra tons of copper instead.
We can get the copper pretty easy, but the other, when we have to go to the Phelan again, then we already have a line on that.
I mean, any freshly burned tree would make activated charcoal.
That part I'm not too worried about. That would be easy to get.
Yeah, but if we can, instead of just getting 10 tons of copper, if we can get 12 tons, we can convert 2 tons of that over to gold.
How much charcoal did it cost you to turn it into gold?
How much
10
to fuel-
pounds.
To fuel the machine?
So for 2 tons, we need
12
about...
tons. No, 2 tons to convert it to gold, yeah.
Yeah, so we need to convert 2 tons of copper to gold. We need about...
I'm using an electronic for this math.
It'd be about 200
Yes.
pounds. No.
No.
Like 200
10
tons of tree.
Yeah, it'd be like
See.
200 tons.
You'll need
it'd be-
200 tons. You'll need actually 20 tons of raw tree.
Yeah, because it'd be 2 times 10.
All
So
the players go to
20
their calculators, and the DM just sits back and sips their drink.
Yeah, I was gonna say it'd be about 20 tons of raw tree.
Uh-huh.
10 pounds for every ounce of gold.
And actually, we need no more raw tree than 20 tons because we have to burn it to get the activated charcoal. We lose
And to make
material
the
by
charcoal.
doing that.
No. 'Cause
Actually, you would need to transfer it once through.
for the charcoal,
It just said fuel. To be fair.
Okay.
well, we
That's
can
how
make
many
charcoal
pounds
really
would
simply,
be
and I can do it. You just get wood, make a pile, and then you
Gold.
cover it in mud and light it on fire and make like a little oven, and,
Times
and then in
16.
a couple hours you have coal. Used to make it down in Texas.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, don't you have to burn it and lose some of the raw material to get the activated charcoal? So if you needed 20 tons of activated charcoal, 10,
No.
10
But-
pounds per.
You're not going to lose any because there's different ways to do it. Just starting an open fire and burning it.
I
will
didn't
do
make
one
it
minute.
easy.
No. Not.
But you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, no. If you make a pile and you cover it in clay, you don't lose any. Because
You're
it
either going to have to
basically
find the
smolders.
funding for that much lumber,
Or we're just
or
going to do a lot
bituminous
of
coal, because you could find a coal miner. There are a endless number of answers.
320 tons of activated charcoal.
They're cool.
That sounds about right.
They said activated charcoal.
Which could all, or coal, any kind of fuel.
Okay. So
They just happen to use activated charcoal.
320
Which is used-
tons of fuel.
For the grand whopping total of the 14 tons of metals.
320 tons of fuel.
No, we just went up with it. Dragon.
It's like 3 dragons worth in weight. It's not impossible.
No.
It's actually quite acquirable.
In a desert, yeah.
In a desert on the equivalent to the Silk Road, definitely. Think about what could best question you could ask yourself at this point, because Kastara would be like the main.
Hold on. Evermist is in a horse, right?
Yes, but Kastara in and of itself is along the Silk Road in the middle of a desert, or the equivalent of the Silk Road in a desert.
Yes, but in Evermist, there would be lumbers and lumber mills. And if they're
Yes.
transporting through the Silk Road, delivery.
That's a high possibility, yes.
Are you saying we rob somebody?
No, we can hire and have them deliver it. We don't fuck with it. Don't have to buy any bags of the whole thing.
But
they're
do we
good.
have enough money to buy 320 tons of fuel?
I mean, we're gonna go kill a pixie and raid her ass. So,
That's still a lot of fuel.
pixies have cool shit.
Okay, so 320 tons of
Lumber.
no, of coal. 320 tons of coal is 640 tons of lumber.
I said fuel.
Okay.
So
You
even the
put it
lumber
in.
can be considered just fuel.
I'm making it a
Hollow.
little bit easier. I'm giving you guys a level of an amount of fuel you need in order to accomplish said task.
Alright, I'm gonna take one of the blocks of mahogany that I have in my, little samples bag so I can tell an artisan what I'm looking for.
Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna put a copper coin into the machine. Have her take me down and put a copper coin into the machine and give it a nice piece of mahogany.
How much does it weigh?
It weighs about an ounce. It's a dense wood.
Yeah,
Mhm.
mahogany, it's like oak.
It'd burn about as long as a pound of coal.
Yeah.
Nothing comes out. You see the coin inside getting red, and it just kind of sits there.
Okay.
So we,
I'm just trying to see what the conversion rate is for
maybe it's
different
not
quality
about the
fuels.
amount of time it burns. Maybe it's the amount of heat it produces. Maybe it doesn't burn hot enough.
I have alchemist's fire. I take just a little bit. And boop.
Drop it in.
A little bit of alchemist's fire is the equivalent to lighting a box of matches on fire.
I
It,
just want to see how it acts.
it flares up. You watch the gauge barely tick forward on this thing.
I pour the whole thing in.
It keeps heating, keeps smelting. You watch the fires move. You see the fire change colors inside, and then it goes out.
Okay, so it is conversion rate's the same, because this is one of the few things
And
Kalora would know.
at this point, from the amount of fucking around and experimentation you've done, your copper coin comes out the bottom and it looks like a chunk of slag.
That's okay, I was kind of expecting slag. I wasn't expecting a successful
So-
conversion.
So if you don't burn it hot enough, long enough, and make the machine operate for long enough, you get slag.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting anything
So,
positive to
I
come from
have
this.
a
I just wanted
question.
to
I
test
have
it.
all those platinum pieces that we need to melt down. It's like 100 platinum ingots worth like 10 platinum each.
The rings.
Mm-hmm.
The ring. So maybe if we can, because they're smaller, I wonder what would happen if we put them in there. Because I have those, but I also have the.
You can certainly try.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go down and see if
We'll have to roll to see if I can find them.
I'm gonna go down and see if the dragon has.
You're gonna look for a manual to the machine? Are you actually going to go like look up? Are you so in this room? You're gonna look around the room for a manual for the machine.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll an investigation check for me.
But yeah, I wonder what would happen if I use those
She can,
platinum
but she
discs
doesn't.
worth 10 platinum each, because we can't do anything with those discs until they're smelted down anyways.
Yeah, so you said investigation.
Oh yeah, because those have they're noble coin. They're a noble's coinage, so you'd have to explain where you got that.
So if we were to be able to use those and
19.
redo it into something different, it might have some of the mint mark
Okay.
on it still, but we might be able to get away
A
with it.
smelted coin would not have a mint mark.
You said that the copper came out with the same, the silver coin came out with the same mint marks as the copper coin when it came out.
Okay, so at a 19, you peruse through 10, 15, 20 books. And then on a shelf, kind of in a tucked away little perfect for it shelf about this high. So the manual's about yay thick. And a shelf that's this wide, this high, just set rather neatly and almost so discreetly that you can't see it above the top of the machine, above the workstation of the machine.
Oh.
You see a little book, and as you pull it out, what are you looking for? Because it says operations manual across the front of it in common. With pretty little, like, skulls that have hearts for wings on the cover, and metallic pink inlays.
I'm gonna open it up and see if it has any diagrams or anything or would indicate which machine it goes to in this shop.
The one that is converting everything.
And do I know that she has the alchemy thingy? 'Cause I've seen her do the prestidigitation thing.
Yes, you've watched the alchemist fire and all of that shit go down in the process of this.
Hey, Kalora, will this help? Is that way of a book?
I don't know. Kalora, would that help you?
Give her the book. I
I
found.
can read, so yes.
Alright, so what in particular, it says operations manual precious metal conversions machine.
I am going to be looking for fuel types. I'm going to look for any information that tells me for optimal function what I'm looking for.
In converting what materials into what?
Yeah.
Like glaze.
Looking through it, you find very quickly that copper will turn into silver, and silver will turn into gold. Gold will turn into iron, and iron will turn into iron oxide. Iron oxide, for some strange reason, becomes incredibly flammable if you put it through the process.
So we need silver instead of copper. We save a stage.
Mm-hmm.
So we need 14 tons of silver.
Yes, I did, Anaya. Out
No,
of
'cause you still
character,
need the
yes,
copper.
I did.
We still need the 10 tons of copper for the actual mission. We only need 2 tons of converted copper.
So we need to need
gold.
silver. We need 2
How
tons
to
of
turn
silver.
your copper into thermite? No, that's why in the manual it says becomes incredibly flammable if you run the rust through.
So I asked Kalora if I could see the manual quick, and I look for anything that mentions how much heat you need or what the actual conversion is for each stage.
To the best of what you can tell, regardless of the stage, type of metal, or anything, the gauge needs to go up to approximately 275 degrees. Minimum. Good news is wood burns at 285 degrees.
And no matter what type of fuel, any type of fuel added will cause it to burn for 5 minutes per pound. Copper conversion takes roughly 50 minutes.
Per pound?
No,
1 pound equals how much per time?
5.
5 minutes.
So we'd need 10 pounds.
You need, okay, fuel, the amount that you can, maximum capacity for the chamber for conversion is 15 pounds. 5 pounds of fuel, or 1 pound of fuel burns for 5 minutes, excuse me. You need to figure out, so for every pound that you put in there, or gallon if it's Alchemist's Fire, Cliff Notes, you will gain, so it's a 5 pound thing, so it'll run for 5 minutes. If you put 5 pounds in there, and you will get a 5 pound chunk of silver. Rough estimate, who here's got a high an intelligence score above 14?
Mine's a 15.
Just standard?
Correct.
Yeah, mine's a 15.
Where you at?
Shit. Yeah.
Alright, so at a 15 you would understand wholeheartedly, because your just basic concepts of math at that point would be to where you could do the justification classifications, that it would take about 3 weeks to be able to convert 12 tons, or the amount of copper that you'd need to into gold. As to the amount of wood, you're not quite sure, because that's a much bigger math problem.
So you said any kind of heat fuel will
I would
work.
recommend asking the bird, because they've got the calculator and have been writing down all the crazy numbers I've been throwing out, because they make logical
Well,
sense.
this isn't more of a number thing. This is more of a how much heat I can produce. What would happen if I cast Firebolt directly into the chamber?
You're welcome to try.
It wouldn't burn long enough.
But
Depends on what's in the chamber.
if we have enough fuel in there to get it hot enough anyways, once I add the Firebolt, it's just adding extra heat to that so we can get things converted more easily. Without
Okay.
having to use
Chances
as
of
much
what?
fuel.
Yeah, but.
Go ahead, voice your argument, please. By all means, that's part of the
Yeah, let's have a discussion about it.
Exactly.
Who's. I mean.
I'm a DM. I'm a fucking mediator. That's my job.
Like,
Well,
yeah,
just
let's-
with our history and luck, why would you cast any type of magic at a machine that we don't know anything about?
To be fair, you have the owner's manual now.
I was gonna say,
I have the book that tells you how to operate it. Okay.
I know the person that created the machine. There's probably some magic imbued with it anyway, so I don't see why a magic fire spell wouldn't.
Roll an
wouldn't
insights
steal
check for me.
it. Insight.
Yep, insight specifically, because you just said the words, I know the person who probably built this. So let's see what your insight tells you about the person who probably built this.
I gotta pick up my pen. I dropped it. I gotta pick up some dice later.
That's okay. You need one?
No, I got one.
Okay.
That's what I was doing. Is I was digging out my D20 and I dropped my D4s and D10s.
Well, there's always the flashy one around here.
You said insight.
Yep, insight.
Insight's a +2. 17 plus 2 is 19.
On a 19. So you would realize, as you open your mouth and insert your foot, that you're right. Aspen is the person who made the machine. On a second thought, you sit there and go, maybe throwing a firebolt at it. She blew herself up a lot.
Yeah, which means she probably did it and figured out how to prevent it from exploding on her.
In the entirety of the time that you can recall and recollect, Anytime that she did something like that to one of her inventions, it exploded. Would you like to continue with your actions?
Overall, just by looking up, how big is the chamber that it actually? Because when I'm thinking in my head, and I'm thinking like it's an old oven. Remember those old wood fire fucking ovens? You had to burn the wood in the bottom. You get the, you had a little space here, and then like heat up a flat top, and then you had like the one on the side, like made the oven work. You ever seen one of those?
Okay, to give you an idea, you need a better description of the object itself and the mechanism itself. Okay, so to a degree, picture it like an assembly line. You've got a little bit of a conveyor belt. We're talking like this wide, literally, about yay long. Enough that you could put, and there's an entry portal about this tall. Now that doesn't seem like a lot, but if you were putting a copper brick and feeding it in, and the internal chamber to this thing is a rectangle, approximately 3 feet deep, 2 feet wide, 4 feet tall. The entrance to it is only 2 feet tall. So the most that you can put into this thing is a 2.5 by 3 foot by 1 foot chunk of metal, or container holding the same said chunk of metal. Now keep in mind, if you put a metal container inside of it, I did actually math all of how much of the metals can be held inside that space.
Mm-hmm.
So I can tell you honestly that it will hold 150 pounds of gold per, if you filled the container to the top and were turning into iron and then rust. The second it turned into iron, it would be slightly lighter actually, and then turning into rust even lighter than that, but it would still fill the same amount of space. Interesting.
So the conversion rate is 1-to-1. What you put in is what you get out. It doesn't change. There's no diminishment or change in that, other than it changes from one metal to the next. Correct?
Correct, and it also takes up a greater or lesser amount of space dependent upon the metal's requirement in order to keep the same amount of mass.
Weight changes, size may vary.
No,
Density.
size changes, weight remains. Your weight is your constant.
Okay.
But
So if you put
100
it in
pounds of silver might take up less space or more space than 100 pounds of
okay, try this one out. It's much easier for anybody to math. If I take 100 pounds of gold,
gold.
do you know the a 5-pound gold ingot is this by this?
Mhm.
If I take 100 pounds of gold and I said it, can you hold that in your hands?
Yeah.
Now I take 100 pounds of iron. 100 pounds of iron is a block, this by this. 100 pounds of rust is a bin the size of
This living
a 10-gallon tote.
Okay. Okay.
So it's the density that changes. The
Exactly.
density changes the weight.
The weight
but
does
the
not
size-
change. The amount of
Space.
area it takes up does.
The density changes.
Okay. So, and the
Ironically, if you put 100 pounds of rust in there, you'll still get 100 pounds of thermite back, but it'll take up a much smaller space.
so the heating chamber. I feel like if you're gonna mass produce or mass run this line, I'm assuming there's something in that you can feed into it to maintain temperature, kind of like oven or something.
Well, it's got
Like
it has a fuel input like port. Looks like you could put anything from a log to pouring potions into it.
I feel like if you're gonna.
It's a simple, complex puzzle.
Well, no, I'm just like, okay, if you're gonna.
No, I'm looking at Anaya's sarcastic. It's a simple, complex puzzle.
Yeah, good numbers.
So you guys don't think firebolt casting that inside the chamber?
You can
I'd
certainly
say
try.
magic would be. Let's try that as like plan C.
Because it
Just
is.
because if this will help us save time and we don't have to do as much
Material to
thievery
burn.
of very specific items, I think we can do it. But finding a
I know how much wood we'll need.
I'm looking through the book.
I need you to roll an intelligence saving throw.
Because I was thinking if we can use
It's high math.
firebolt in combination with the wood.
That would be a straight 12.
Skew your numbers by 1,000.
That's fine.
Thank you.
And
So-
being Kalora, I'm gonna go high.
Because what I'm saying is, if
I was
we
gonna go
can
high
use
anyways.
firebolt in conjunction with the fuel to add more heat, it won't take as much wood to burn because we have the magic of the
What's the
firebolt to
duration?
go with it. The duration is
Instantaneous.
instantaneous.
So
So
it's a
that's
flash
just-
burn.
That's a flash burn. That's not enough to maintain a temperature.
It is enough to ignite something.
So it wouldn't
Well,
take
we
as
need-
much heat to ignite.
We'd need roughly
I also have
10,500, so 10,500 pounds of dry
so
or wet oak wood or the equivalent.
I have another
Or-
question for DM.
10,500
Okay.
cubic
much?
feet.
Would the burning chamber of this be at least 5 foot in diameter? Based
Yes.
on the measurements that you gave?
It is 3 foot by 1 foot by 4 foot, and yes, whatever it is that you're going to do can actually fit inside that if you cast it to fit inside the
I'd do
space.
some
Because I
other-
also got flaming sphere here, which is a concentration up to 1 minute. A 5 foot diameter sphere of fire appears in an unoccupied space of your choice within range and lasts for the duration.
Alright.
3 cubic
So
feet.
it could add the heat for longer, and it's contained within the sphere.
It's
within
that
the
is
burning
actually
chamber.
enough to give you an equivalent of what the conversion is, because we are running a long campaign to give you an idea.
Yeah,
So it's not like one shot where there's a quick fix.
I know. I would have
so-
to cast it over and over, which means
Oh.
I would have to take short rests.
Your
in between.
conversion is that is enough to convert 1 ounce of copper to an ounce of silver, or an ounce of silver to an ounce of gold per casting of flaming sphere. Not to say that it is not possible to do it that way, it's just it would take a really, really, really long time.
Yeah, because I
As
have.
I'm looking at this book, is there any notes or any ideas, thoughts written in the book?
Roll inspection. Or investigation, that's the one. Thank you. DM spoiled kitty.
21.
Beautiful. So at a 21, as you leaf through, looking for any side notes and things of that nature, you hear note that, you catch notes that elemental fire crystals from the Brass City are the preferred choice, as they cut the amount of fuel necessary down to 1/10.
Should have burned the shit out of my hands.
Uh-huh.
So I'm gonna just like, cause I'm gonna show that to Glora and see what she says.
Okay, Kalora, that's on you. I have no say.
I mean, we can go try it. I'm not touching it with my bare feathers again, but we can try it.
I'm pretty sure we can get some tools. But if this, so you use that in combination. Yeah. Where is the breast that you have over there?
On the plane of fire.
No.
Why do you think that that's the easiest place to acquire crystals that are imbued with fire energy?
Yeah, but what all the weird ones were in the desert?
Well, it's a desert. It's still on the material plane. It's like Nevada. Or Guadalajara. Or
We cut
Flagstaff in the summer.
Cut it down by a tenth.
It cuts it down to 1/10 of the weight if you use fire crystals. Alternatively speaking, if you could find a high enough level wizard to imbue and crystallize the essence of fire into a crystalline form, you could just simply pay them, but you'd have to be able to afford it. And most of the gold and copper that you'll be gathering, you are planning on converting anyway. or most of the gold you were planning on, or copper you were planning on gathering, you were planning on converting. So it ends up being one of those things where, one way or another, you're going to have to figure out how much to shoot yourself in the foot in order to get the job done.
I just want to go kill the pixie, okay? That's where I'm at.
Go kill the pixie and take their mine? It's a good start, and I never said that they were nice.
The machine's completely useless to us.
At this current moment.
At all.
So,
No, no. I have done the math. I'm going to do this out of character because Kalora wouldn't know this much. So, you said that the chamber for the fuel is 3 by 4 by 1.
Correct.
Okay, that is 12 cubic feet.
Correct.
12 cubic feet would burn for 660 minutes. A grand total of about 2 1/3 days, producing a grand whopping total of 67.2 pounds of gold.
Correct. But everything cuts down to 1/10 if you use fire crystals.
We still gonna be here for fucking months on end if we use a fucking machine.
Uh-huh. There is an actual peaceful, positive, slow, good aligned option. Or you could just go rob a bunch of motherfuckers, get what you need, and get the job done.
I say let's just go rob some bitches and get this shit done. Like, if we don't have months to wait for
Good wine.
conversion. Fuck
Well-
that. Let's just go be some rogue motherfuckers like I am and go steal some shit.
I think still feeding 2 tons of gold coin through that thing is gonna take forever no matter what we do.
We go kill the dragon.
Or copper coin.
That's what I'm saying.
We
If
get
we
silver.
If we
cut-
just
cut
straight
the-
get the gold that we need by robbing the mint, who gives a shit? Let's just get the gold.
Dragon would be easier and we get more. Then we wouldn't get arrested.
To be fair,
We still need the copper.
We still need the copper. Yeah, we can go to the Fae and get that from the copper mine. But if we need to get the
Laura,
gold, we
you're
can
the one
gotta
with the
rob
oath,
mint.
right?
I'm not oath sworn yet. I'm
Yeah,
only
but
a
you're the
level
one.
paladin.
Yes, but you have been like devoting yourself enough and praying regularly.
Yes.
In the back of your mind, you hear a serpentine whisper. What's a little theft among enemies?
Like, we can get the copper from the mine like we're supposed to because we need way more copper. But this gold, we can just straight rob the mint and get it done. We won't have to convert any copper over to silver or gold. We'll have the gold and just have it done.
Anywhere but Kastara.
Where's the dragon 3 days away?
I don't care if it's
You
from
want to try and rob a dragon?
I don't
Kill
care
the
if it's
dragon
from
and
a
take his
bank
shit.
in Evermist. I
As I
understand you don't
focus-
want to do the Kastara, and that's fine. But let's just get the robbery
Evermist is too small.
done. Let's just get the robbery done and just straight get the gold.
The largest viable city that you know of, or the best viable city to rob the living piss out of that you know of, would be Kastara. You grew up in the dregs. You grew up poor. You know what the rich of Kastara run it like. If you really want to break it down, you don't feel that bad about looting them.
No, I just want to be able to go home at some point.
If we do it right, they won't even know it was us.
The golden rule works in Kastara.
Don't piss people off.
No. Think Aladdin. You've heard about the golden rule, haven't you, lad? He who has the gold makes the rules.
So it's like it's not like they'll worry about it. We'll have enough money.
You all would hear this echoing. Don't worry about the legal. He who has the gold makes the rules. In that sickeningly serpentine voice all of you have had plaguing your dreams lately. So everybody knows.
Exactly who's talking. Like, yeah, that's
You
when
all,
because-
you all sell a bit of your souls to her on a regular basis. She can talk to you.
mostly because Kalora already has voices in her head, and this one is suddenly louder. She's just.
And friendlier.
Mm.
And makes sense. Actually, go ahead and make a will save to see whether or not it makes too much sense.
Can I roll persuasion on that too, since I've kind of been helping persuade her?
That's a 6.
You can if you want to, and then I'll give disadvantage if you roll high.
Okay. So persuasion.
And I'll let you roll one more time to see if you crit fail. Sorry, but you know, I'm pro inter-player interactions that have very little to do with my difficulties. Or my
persuasion
NPCs.
is
Uh-oh.
persuasion is a +5 on top of whatever I roll, which is a 9 total.
So, at a 9 total, it feels like even Ronan's on your side for once. And there's a part of you, deep down, Kalora, that has always wanted to be accepted. The main thing that you loved about your partner, your child, is they accepted you no matter how dumb you were. Acceptance is your drive in so many ways that you don't ever admit to.
Mm-hmm.
And even Ronan seems to agree with this course of action.
I mean, Floyd's not totally disagreeing, even a little bit.
But
Well,
now
I
all of a
think-
sudden it's like, well, and then you think back to how much proper response would have actually saved your family.
Mm-hmm.
How much could have been fixed with money that was denied.
Alright, I'm in.
Alright. So robbery it is.
I understand you want to be able to go back home, but at the same time, we'll have enough money that you can make home anywhere.
Kastara will always be home.
And then
If I
you
get-
stop and
If
you
I get my
think,
way the way I want it, it's the only home my child's ever known.
in the back of your head you hear, they know one other. And you see images flash before your eyes of your child's disembodied soul walking the purgatory of Thanatos' realm. Watching an innocent soul completely bereft of any need for the Reaper's punishment, just forced to observe for all eternity because of their ill fate. A father figure, a shadow, laying a comforting hand on their shoulder as they traverse the gray of limbo. I've been waiting for that to happen.
See, I wish I would have
What's the, and you hear it again.
instead of a 4.
So what's it worth to you to make this end? And the flash is brighter.
Kalora looks like she's having a full-on, like, aneurysm.
Everything
You
okay?
good?
Yeah, I just had to throw some out of my store by the phone, so. And I'm probably have to wear my gun tomorrow, so. Gee, that my cigarette boyfriend on me.
Oh.
Okay, we're good.
Well, do you just need...
I'm good.
Okay, cool.
Okay, Rick.
So, Kalora's been being fucked with by Tiamat while you've been gone. And please explain what everybody would see.
Oh, Kalora looks like she's having an aneurysm. Like, you'd never seen a bald eagle go cross-eyed until now.
Okay. And this is all going on in her head, right?
And there's rage and...
Except for what you're seeing that they're describing right
Yeah,
now.
there's rage and somehow beads of sweat forming on the feathers. Just... Yeah.
Oh, and we've also come to the conclusion we probably will do the robbery.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, morally speaking, you give zero fucks about rolling a bunch of rich people.
I don't. I'm cabin control. I don't know. Whatever. We gotta get this shit done.
Yeah.
As far as Gloria goes, how high insight would I have to roll to see
Don't touch Kalora.
I'm
That's
not
out of
gonna-
character. Don't metagame it though.
No, I'm not inside to see. Like, I'm not gonna touch her. But like,
How distressed does Kalora look right now?
Thoroughly. So much so that she has completely locked down into just a. So angry they've stopped moving.
And you hear in the back of your head, and just think, hitting them in their families doesn't hurt, but hitting them in their wallets does.
we just this
One little robbery to break them all, my dear.
Which
I know
how-
where we can find the gold.
Okay. Do you have a plan?
And homeboy with the big eyes is only half right.
Okay. What's your plan? Where do you go?
I'm gonna need a handful of friends. I'm gonna need more than 13 whole bags of holding.
Okay.
Oh, so if you're going for it, you're going for the whole kit and caboodle, huh?
Kalora's broken. If you were to offer me the other 2 levels of paladin I needed to take my oath right now, it'd happen.
Because not only has Tiamat offered you your family, but has offered up the people who could have saved them on a silver platter.
Mm-hmm.
At least
Shit.
by
Yeah.
coercion. Whether or not they really could have saved
No, there's
is...
a vault under the upper city that a portion of the rich people's gold is taken out of to put in the bank that was suggested that we rob.
Well, I'm saying, if
It
we're
was
go-
described in the old Nox Vitalia.
let's
Uh-huh.
go for it. If you want to go for the whole thing, I'm down. I'm broke as shit. I got 75 gold in my name. I want to triple that. At least.
All right.
Honey, you could multiply it by 35 million.
That's what I need. I need monies. So I'm a roll. Let's do it. I don't give a shit. I'm willing to pull this off.
You're hearing this. I'm just
I'm
the
gonna look for the
innocent
beholder.
observer and the omnipotent being in the room.
I'm looking for the beholder.
You're probably standing right in front of you.
Now, the beholder is still back at the entrance, hanging out. Well, you all wandered off to go deal in the workshops.
You're a collector of various wondrous items, yeah?
I procure things.
I need several more than 13 bags of holding. And if you provide me, let's say 50, 10 of them will come back to you filled with treasures. You
Roll
want profit.
persuasion with advantage. That's what we call effective bribery, ladies and gentlemen.
Persuasion. That'd be a 21.
So at a 21, you watch as it mauls and it bites its... You've never seen an eyeball floating in a flesh case bite its lip before this. But it does, and you watch as the fangs actually cause a secretion of green, bilious blood to drip. I don't normally make deals, but... You'd swear that one of the eye stalks perks up. But... this one is worth consideration.
On the caveat,
I don't want 10 bags, though.
what would you like?
Where are you robbing?
I'm going for the vault.
All right, behind a very, very thick adamantite door. In the bottom of the vault is a book.
I can do a book.
What?
I can do a book.
It's... I don't want it back. Burn it.
Burn it and fight whatever comes out of it, right?
No, burn it. It's the last 20 years of my accounting ledgers.
Can do. I'll still
Do you have
bring-
any idea how hard it is to evade taxes with that down there?
You get the vault open, I'll take care of the burning. You take care of the vault, I'll
Make an
get
insight check for me, please.
Insight.
Alright, we need to get back to Kastara because I need to visit my temple.
Oh, it is your temple now.
Mm-hmm.
14.
Nope, you're good. Okay, we can go with that course of action. I just need to make sure you did or did not realize something.
I'm gonna say, come here, let's pop a portal.
To where?
Kastara.
Kastara.
Back to Kastar? Alright, so as you open up, again, it comes right to the base of the tree in the upper city. Ironically, as you would look around, getting your bearings, still not quite being used to being teleported this bloody much, as most of you have flown by airship, or traveled by horse, or walked it for most of your lives. Including you, Ronan. It turns out that you're not very big on being teleported places either. You know, the whole materializing of the body thing is really unnerving. And because these are actually 9th level, preordained, pre-addressed scrolls, you all are actually bypassing the biggest problem with teleportation spells of all.
The maybe.
The wild magic roll.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Scrolls are made in such a way that you're guaranteed to go to your addresses.
Mm-hmm.
So, shit, before we leave, does he give us the bag? We have to pick him up somewhere.
You'll have to find the bags. Give me a few weeks, and you'll probably want to case the joint and, you know, figure out what you're working with and what you'll need to do to get in.
Kalora's drawn a map of the area because Kalora's main job when she was here
Yes.
was mapping the city.
But not the inside of secure locations.
No, for that I'm
So-
gonna need.
You're going to need to connive, stealth, sneak, map, scout, and case the entire fucking joint. How well you all case this, just to give you all a heads up. How much time you take matters.
Ronan.
How many details.
This is where you can come in handy if you play to your strengths, honey.
I got magic, but
This
I
is
got a
also where I
lot
s-
of rogue shit that I can do.
Exactly. This
Like-
is also where I slit your throat if you fail.
Sure,
I wouldn't put it past that bird.
I could try.
But the fact is that the better you all
I've
case
beaten
this
you to 0
place,
hit points at
the
least
easier
once
breaking
now.
in will be. The easier breaking out with your loot will be. The fact is that...
Where's the Thieves Guild?
Are you a rogue?
No.
He is.
Yeah, and he's... Now, here's where the real good question goes. I need you to roll... Actually, no. You wouldn't know where the Thieves Guild is in Kastara at the present.
I've never been to the.
You speak Thieves' Camp, but not you haven't been here post-Cataclysm.
Yeah, so I need to ask around in Thieves' Camp. You guys stay here, let me ask around, and I'll get back to you.
Alright.
Like, are we at Kastara already?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
So,
in
yeah.
Kastara.
Just hang out at the tavern that we met back up at when you guys, before we came here.
The one in the forge then, or our normal spot?
The one that you guys walked in and I was sitting in drinking the beer.
In the forge?
In the Forge.
So wait there, I'm gonna go do my rogue thing and...
Let's meet there tomorrow and have breakfast. Let's put it that way. Be easier because it gives you time. We all can be in one particular time area. Allows us to do a couple other things.
Okay. So meet back up in like a day.
Breakfast tomorrow. Or day after tomorrow.
Yeah, what time is it exactly? Is it evening?
Should be getting close to evening. But I'm judging the day, right, that we've been going through.
Yeah. We'll give him a second. But yeah, no, that totally
I'm
works.
sorry, I just had a friend who lost somebody.
No shit.
Do we need a wrap?
Yeah, do we need to wrap up? Do you need...
As much as I hate to cut this short, because I am actually like really enjoying this,
You probably need to be there for your friend and we get that.
it's Peter.
Oh, yeah, no. Love you guys. We will continue this.
I am
week after
sorry,
next.
a friend just recently lost somebody and only found out this morning. I need to be there for my friend. It's just be a good human being time of year, and I'm not going to be that dick of a guy. I've been enough of a dick today. You guys don't need to know the details, but trust me, I was a dick today.
This is a good wrapping point too. We're
Yeah.
getting ready to head to Kastara.
Yeah,
We're
we're
getting
ready.
ready. You're heading into Gastara. Everybody knows what's going on. You've got some shit that you'd like to deal with the freaking baseball bat, I'm sure, as well.
Yeah, we'll deal with that.
Don't be in too much of a rush because we actually like seeing your smiling face.
I have a firearm. It's fine.
All right.
I have a baseball bat, a taser, and a mace gun that shoots bear mace like that.
Yes, and I can do more with my thumb than most idiots with the firearm. So what's your point?
All right. Peace, love, and bulletproof marshmallows.
Bye. My turn.